My time at Carleton included a lot of different kind of feelings and emotions, and started off as nerves getting into school, and then excited once I was here, stressed a little bit over exam times, and definitely ended very, very, very proud of myself. I was so proud I actually cried when I was crossing the stage getting my diploma. But one thing my time at Carleton never included was a sense of feeling left out or excluded or like I didn't belong. Carleton, the faculty, the students, the staff, everyone is just so nurturing, so inclusive, and just fosters such an amazing learning environment that they have given me memories and friends that I will continue to keep for the rest of my life, and 4 years that I would not trade for anything. And with that, I am so, so excited that you're all here to celebrate women in engineering, learn more about Carleton, the Faculty of Engineering and Design, and hopefully get to talk to all or at least some of you later. Also, I would like to introduce Richard Dansereau. He is the Associate Dean of Student Affairs here at the Faculty of Engineering and Design, and he's going to say a few words to you. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, Rebecca. So good afternoon, everyone. I am delighted that so many of you are able to be here with us today. As Rebecca noted, my name is Richard Dansereau, and I'm the Associate Dean, Student Affairs for the Faculty of Engineering and Design. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to this special celebration of women in engineering at Carleton. In bringing all of you together today, we look to showcase some of the amazing achievements of Carleton's female engineers, designers, and information technology professionals, and demonstrate that opportunities for women have become increasingly abundant across the many fields of engineering and design. Attending university is an important time in one's life. At Carleton, our goal is to encourage women to explore their potential and to realize the exciting career opportunities that are open to them. We also believe Carleton is a welcoming community where each and every student can find their place, and I hope that your visit and the conversations you have here today will demonstrate the warm character of our campus environment. As Associate Dean, I can testify to the strength and excellent reputation of our engineering and design programs. Our students and graduates continue to make an impact on our community by influencing industry and winning awards for creativity and ingenuity. To offer a few examples, we recently awarded an honorary doctorate to Google visionary and executive Dr. Shona Brown, a Carleton systems engineering graduate from 1987. Her contribution to Google and how that modern tech giant changed the landscape for business and society demonstrates the incredible things that are possible when you start with a degree from Carleton University. Hannah Johnston, a Google interaction designer and information technology alumna, also visited Carleton last summer to share her advice and inspiration with a group of young girls taking part in our Code Makers Girls Junior Camp, hosted by Virtual Ventures, a not-for-profit technology and engineering program for youth run by the Faculty of Engineering and Design. Today, it is our pleasure to have another outstanding Carleton graduate join us, Emmanuel, an information technology, interactive multimedia, and design graduate who visits us from San Jose, California, where she works as a senior product manager at global checkout at eBay. Having established herself as an industry leader, Amanda has returned to Carleton to offer her insight on pursuing engineering and design and to discuss the growing impact of women within the corporate world. For those of you who are considering studying at Carleton or are currently students in engineering and design, I am confident that you all possess the same imagination and determination that can take you to great places like Shona, Hannah, and Amanda. On a final note, Amanda will be delivering her remarks at the podium during the dessert and coffee portion of today's lunch celebration. Until then, enjoy the buffet.
Amanda Emmanuel is an Ottawa native and a 2010 graduate of Carleton's Interactive Multimedia and Design program offered through the Bachelor of Information and Technology here at Carleton. Shortly after finishing her studies at Carleton, Amanda's career took off, driven by a passion for blending technology, design, business, and innovation. She established a Canadian luxury apparel, created a multimedia software consulting company, and started a real estate business, all by age 25. Now she visits us from San Jose, California, where she works as Senior Product Manager Global Checkout at eBay, to offer her insight on women in engineering and design, and to discuss the impact of women in the industry. So please help me in welcoming Amanda to speak with you. Thank you.
I want you to imagine for a moment what an engineer looks like. With that image in your head, did the person look like an office worker? Maybe it was a young person in a hoodie. Or perhaps an older person, somebody who fixes things. But did any of you imagine a young woman like yourself? Now let's look at these logos. These are some of the top companies in the world. We have fashion, nonprofit, national defense. But what's common between all of them? It's women. Behind each and every one of these companies is either a co-founder or a CEO who just happens to be female. And while all of them are not necessarily engineers, in order to create and run such successful companies, they all had to fundamentally have an understanding and embracing of the engineering world. So I'm here today to give you a little bit about my story and how the world of engineering has shaped my life. It all began when I was about 14 years old on a family vacation to London, England. It was about the year 2000, and we decided to visit a pop-up museum that was called the Millennium Dome. It was all about the future of various industries and where they could go. And my family and I arrived on an exhibit on telemedicine. It was basically two rooms. One was with a doctor, and the second room was with a patient on an operating table. And it was basically trying to show that a doctor could perform an operation remotely. I was fascinated with this idea. Because you see, at the time, that was the age that I was learning that there are other people in the world who don't necessarily have access to the same resources. So I wasn't focused so much on how telemedicine worked, but what results its engineering could achieve. So fast forward a couple of years, and it's time for me to apply to university. I ended up choosing to go to McMaster. They had an excellent biomedical engineering program, and I was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and ready to start with my path to my career. But by second year, I was really struggling. I felt so defeated. I had spent so much time focusing on this career path, and it just wasn't working for me. I felt like my world was collapsing around me. This was the only industry I thought that I knew. So I packed up my bags, and I moved back home to Ottawa and came here to Carleton University. What I didn't realize at first was what a gift the Interactive Multimedia and Design program was for me. Because you see, as a child, I was actually kind of creative, but I never thought I could leverage those skills in my career. IMD is what let me weave together my creativity with technology to build those tangible, real results. Whether it was a video game or an animated movie. And by learning so many different types of software so early on in my undergrad, I actually caught on to the idea that I could build those tangible, real results and build value for real people. So I didn't feel like I had to do the 4 years and go and get a job to get the skills and feel independent enough to be able to build those solutions that were solving real problems for real companies. The possibilities were endless. Moreover, I also learned that the value wasn't just in the final product that I was producing or we could produce with those skills, but in the ability to translate the opportunity that software could offer to building those solutions. So with this skill set, I felt fearless, especially after graduation, to start one of my own companies. So I steamrolled into the luxury fashion industry, and I created my own company. I honestly didn't even know how to sew a dress. But my passion was actually behind the product itself. It was about using software and technology to disrupt an industry like fashion. I used software to create my own digitally printed fabric and essentially change the way luxury garments were manufactured. I was able to build these products at such a rapid pace that I was way ahead of the curve compared to other ready-to-wear designers. So from launching my company from my bedroom in Barrhaven, Ottawa, I was able to secure a deal from a top Montreal retailer within 2 months. And 2 months after that, I had my dresses with my name on them, hanging beside Versace and Armani at a store where Celine Dion buys her clothes. It was ridiculous to me. But from all of this, I was able to recognize that I loved technology, and I loved building products. But I wanted to hone my skills further to learn more about business. So I packed up my bags again, and I moved, this time to New York City, to pursue an MBA at a place called Cornell Tech. At the time, it was a very new way of doing an MBA where you merged engineering and technology together. It was different for so many different reasons, in that we had, say, the former CTO of Twitter as one of our professors, or we were encouraged on multiple occasions to work with the Masters in Engineering students to build solutions for Fortune 500 companies. I was part of the inaugural MBA class, but that didn't faze me because I had that firsthand experience to know that technology was changing the world, and I knew I had to be a part of it. So after my whirlwind year of business school, I really wanted to become a part of something bigger, something that was impacting people's lives on a grander global scale. So that's why I decided to move again, this time to Silicon Valley, and to become a part of eBay. eBay is kind of a big company. I hope you've heard of them. We've actually been around, despite this very competitive tech industry, for just over 20 years. We've built an online community where people can buy and sell items that result in millions of transactions a day. And the most beautiful part about this company like eBay is how its technology has impacted so many people's lives. Because you see, for millions of people, their livelihood depends on eBay. They're supporting their day-to-day lives and their families based on their interactions on our site. And as a product manager on the checkout team, I get to build a product that makes every single one of those transactions possible. So as you can see, my path has been very diverse. It has its detours, its businesses, its geographies, companies, but across all of them, I was so lucky to be able to build a foundation in engineering, technology, and design. It's that foundation that's allowed me to step into so many different worlds and never to feel confined by a silo in a specific industry. Instead, I've had the luxury to experience them all. Today, we live in a world that's constantly evolving and changing because of technology. You could say we sort of live in this technology revolution, and it's happening right before our eyes. This revolution is affecting everything and everyone. And I emphasize everyone because what's becoming more and more apparent is that while engineering affects all of us, not all of us are contributing towards it. Let me explain. So women in the world make up just over 50% of the population currently, We also earn 50% of the undergraduate degrees, but we only represent 25% of the workforce in engineering. In New York alone, the engineering job market is increasing 4 times faster than any other job market in any other industry. And by the year 2018, the US universities alone would have only graduated 52% of the workforce that we need for this technology age. And while the number of women graduating from undergraduate degrees is at an all-time high, there's only less than 1% of us that are earning degrees in the tech field, whereas it's 6% in men. The disparity of women not being in the engineering world, more than just impedes women. It handicaps the entire tech industry. Innovation suffers when there's a lack of workforce diversity, and we as women bring a thought process and an approach to solving problems that needs to be heard. Getting involved doesn't have to mean you're sitting behind a desk coding all day. There are so many different facets to the world of engineering where we can all get involved. Whether it's gathering requirements or building a prototype, these are all elements that require a fundamental understanding of engineering. The reality is, ladies and gentlemen, that we will not win in the digital age if we leave half the team on the bench. Ladies, would you rather sit on the sidelines and watch everybody else play? Or would you rather jump in, play the game, and help us win? Seeing that women only represent 25% of the workforce in engineering shows us the enormous opportunity that we have to do our part to improve the world of engineering to build better solutions. We all have a voice and a unique perspective. Don't be afraid to be the beginner. Step up to the plate and play the game. I wouldn't be here today if I waited for somebody else to take the lead and do it first. It's okay to stumble and fall sometimes, but you need to dust yourself off, pick yourself up, and try again. It's going to be challenging. No one is denying that. But rather than focusing on the 4 or X number of years that it may take to get those engineering skills, focus on the impact that you can have on people's lives. As I've emphasized many times today already, technology is changing the world we live in, whether we like it or not. Be courageous, be who you are, focus on the outcome and the benefit to mankind that you can bring to the world, and always, always believe in yourself enough to say, why not me? Thank you.
Just want to say once again, thank you so much, Amanda, for sharing your story and your message with all of us. Thank you to all of you for participating and coming out to celebrate women in engineering, and again, learning a little bit more about Carleton and the Faculty of Engineering and Design. Amanda, Professor Dansrow, myself will all be around if you have any questions, want to come talk to us, didn't want to ask in front of the group. And again, thank you so, so much, and we'll talk to you soon. Yes.